This is my advisor, Mrs. Johnson.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And for this quarter, I have my overall strengths were using my time wisely in class. I studied for quizzes and tests. I paid attention and listened in class, and I turned in all my homework.
Very good.
Some of my weaknesses I had was trying to make up assignments in one night because of my Odyssey field trips. Were kind of hard to do everything in one night. My first hour my first hour class that I have is PE and health. Some things I do in PE and health is I pay good attention in health and PE, and I take lots of notes for quizzes, and I study really well. And this is one of the tests I did. That was my chapter test for this quarter, so that was like overall what I learned.
So the marks on here meant you got it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was the only one I missed. This one, that was extra credit. And then my second hour class I had was social studies. And I said I listened well in class, and I turned in my homework, and I study hard. I did a reflection in social studies. And these are some of the habits I wrote, like yes, no, sometimes. And I completed all my homework assignments. I began studying for tests as soon as they were announced. I asked questions in class. I participated in discussions. And I used my class time responsibly. And then our central question for social studies was what motivates people to change their lives. We had explained learning experience that we had. And I talked about a project we did over colonies, which was what our whole unit was about. And we focused on what changed people's lives, which is kind of our central question. And this is what I said, like what motivates people to change their lives. And then
What does?
Well, for colonists, they wanted to get away from like their old lives and start fresh, so they would move to new places, which was like the colonies. So I said that's what people like to do because they want to get a fresh start, so they move somewhere to start a new life. And then a goal that I set to become a more successful student for social studies for the rest of the year was continue to study for all my quizzes and tests so that I'll continue to succeed and get good grades in social studies. I'll also continue to turn in all of my homework assignments on time to remain a good student.
Good.
And next was my third hour, which was science. I turned in all my homework on time, and because of that, I also got a homework award for turning in all of my assignments and
Yay.
stuff for first quarter.
Good job.
And I turn my homework in on time. I take lots of notes and listen well in class, like in my science notebook. I take lots of notes so I can have stuff to look over for quizzes and stuff.
And do you ask questions?
Yes, I do. And these are just some of the checkpoints and things we did. We did some over speed and graphs so far, and this is over. We did speed and we did graphing and different units and tools, and that was part of a pretest, but we're working on that now. So those are some of the other checkpoints I did. My fourth hour is strings, and I said I pay attention and practice like my difficult songs for tests and participate in class. And I just had one of my strings tests that I did. I had to do a scale, and I did a song that we've been playing lately. And then I got some extra points because I did the vibrato, the new thing we learned.
Do you know when your first concert is?
It's in about December, I think. And then we've already started working on songs for that, so that's what our tests are over, our songs for our next concert. And then my fifth hour is reading, and I said I listen and pay attention, turn my homework and projects, and participate in class. This is one of the book projects that we did, which we've been working on for a long time, because we read with groups, and we do book groups. So my book was The Adoration of Jenna Fox. And this is a presentation I did, and this is over the evidence of finishing the book, quality of presentation, quality of project. So that's the scoring I got on mine. I just thought I did really good. And then for 6th hour, I'm writing, and again, same, get my work done in class, use my time wisely. And then we've been doing, since we carved pumpkins the other day for that, she had us do a writing thing on it just for fun. And I did a pumpkin acrostic poem. So that's just a free writing thing we gotta do.
What's that?
That's like the Indian or the natives' word for pumpkin.
Huh.
That's why I had to get something for it. But after that, it's my 7th hour is algebra, and I pay attention and listen very well because I have to take lots of notes and stuff for benchmarks and quizzes and stuff that I can keep up with my grades. This was the benchmark that I did for algebra. I only missed one of them, and I know why too. It's kind of a silly-ish mistake, but I fixed it, and that was one of the highest ones.
Cool.
She fixed it though. It was 39, but she changed it.
Oh, that was the one you told me about, central tendency.
And then she fixed the other one because I showed her why I did it. For Odyssey, I said like I pay attention and participate in field trips. I don't really have much for that since we've been doing it in class. And other things that are just like the catching up on the homework after field trips since it's not considered a class. And then I'm keeping track of my assignments in classes by writing assignments down on my sticky notes tab, which is on my toolbar. And I have an assignments tab or homework tab over here in important dates for.
You need to show me how to save sticky notes.
And
I use them, they disappear.
and then I also I write down when I have tests and quizzes and big projects, like when they're due. That way I know when to have stuff done, especially if I have multiple things going on at the same time.
Good.
And that's all I have.
You're learning some good time management skills, keeping things written down and keeping track of your assignments. That's good. So each of these things is just a sample of work from your classes?
Yeah.
And did you pick the samples, or did your teachers give you the ones that they wanted you to show?
I just picked some of the things that I had that I thought were good and other spare things that I had.
So do you keep all of this in one portfolio, or do you have like a binder where you keep like each subject's papers until you decide to pick one?
Well, we have folders and notebooks, and I usually put things in the sides, or I have a couple of folders. Like for health, we have a folder, we put everything in there, and then we organize it at the end of the quarter and put a table of content and stuff in there. And I also have in here, we also do documents in here that I save, like the poem and stuff. And those are just some of the other things I knew I had that I kept at home in a folder, just in case I needed them. Because I know at the end of the year, or at the end of quarters, they have like the chapter tests or finals, and I'd like to have other past tests that way I can study them for later on, like math tests and things.
Good plan.
So
looks like you're doing a good job with all your classes, and sounds like your behavior's been good, and I'm really proud of you.
Thanks. Thank you for coming.